Hello everybody, so today I am reviewing Killers, a film that I saw at Glasgow Fright Fest. I'm sorry that these reviews are getting out really late, but yes, I'm talking about Killers today. So Killers is directed by the Moe brothers, who also directed Macabre, which is a really great horror that it's just a mad horror with like, if you like the torture sort of porn genre or whatever, it's something that sort of stands out from there, and there's some really cool things with what it does and some really mad scenes. And is a very good horror film in my opinion. And yeah, the Moe brothers aren't actually brothers, but it's because their names are Kimmo and Timo. So this is directed by Kimmo's Stab Bowl. This is where, in this review, where I pronounce names completely wrong. Gareth Evans even told us how to pronounce the next name, because everyone always gets it wrong, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong right now, probably. Timo Tajanto, Jajanto, or is it just Jajanto? I don't know if you take off the T. I'm sorry if I pronounced that completely wrong, but yes, Timo has done more stuff than Kimmo, because Kimmo normally works with Timo on the stuff, and normally they direct their things together like they did Macabre together. But Timo did recently also did VHS 2 with the short with the Safe Haven in there, and this has also got one of the guys. Killers has also got one of the guys that was in that short as well. And then that was with Gareth Evans. Gareth Evans also produces this. Timo also did a short in ABCs of Death. So Timo's done a bit more. He's done some really cool stuff, and Timo does some things with some really horrible subjects in there. But these two directors just make some really great stuff. Timo also, he wrote this as well. This also has people in it that there's some people in it that you would have seen in The Raid. Raid, brilliant film, and this has also got people in it that are going to be in The Raid too. So Killers is a story of two guys that are well, one of them is a killer. Yes, he's just this guy that films these snuff films online, and then the other guy, it's just a guy that watches these snuff films, and then something happens one day, and this other guy he works for like a news thing, he films news and things, but then just something happens one day, and these two guys start to connect with each other, get in contact with each other, and things start to go off from there. So both guys are played by Oka Antara, who is one of the main guys, the guy that does the reports up, and then there is Kazuki Kutamura, who is the killer in the film. This is a Indonesian Japanese film, and it's absolutely incredible. Killers 2014. Well, it's because I'm just saying 2014 because it came out this year. Killers is just an absolutely incredible film. This ended Glasgow Fright Fest so well. This is actually one of my favourite films of this year so far. It's just a film that stayed in my mind after it was finished. There's some incredible scenes in here. One scene that, I don't want to be spoiling stuff in here, but there's just one scene in this that I was just like, whoa. It was just a really well filmed scene. There's some really hard hitting subjects in here, some really disturbing stuff, but that's something to expect from these directors, and especially from Timo, because he does some disturbing things. And just with like Safe Haven, there's sort of some subjects in here that are sort of in Safe Haven, but it's got very disturbing moments, but a really interesting story, an absolutely incredible foreign film that just took me straight in. It's 2 hours and a bit, 2 hours and 20 minutes long, I think it is, but it didn't feel that to me. Now, yes, there's some scenes that drag at points, but it's just beautifully filmed. It has this just incredible, the soundtrack is great, everyone does a great job with acting. The guy that is the killer just sold it to me completely, and as this story adapts and goes on more and more, you are taken completely in, and sort of, not really, you sort of can understand these killers and stuff, and the things they do. The gore in this film is mad. There is just some mad violence. There's very dark humour as well. Some really great dark humour. Some people I know online have moaned about it and be like, I don't expect this from the Moe brothers, but it's humour that worked so well, that had the audience laughing, that it was just good. It wasn't stuff that felt like it was forced humour, because this is a film that when it wants to be deadly serious and wants to be really serious and be this amazing thriller and stuff that it is, and it is very serious. But there are those moments where it's got very black humour, very dark humour that just works really well. You can tell that Gareth Evans was a producer on this as well, because, well, I'm not saying because there's some scenes that feel like they would have been in the red, but there's one incredible scene with the corridor scene, and with just like some really, the choreographing is really great on scenes, the effects are really great, just, this is filmed, the cinematography is amazing, everyone acts brilliantly. I know this might sound like a high rating, but there's just, I don't really have any problems with Killers. There's not even, if I think in my mind, maybe the only thing is some scenes dragging and some things seeming like they wouldn't need to be there, but then I can't say that it wouldn't get a 10 out of 10 from me, because it does get a 10 out of 10, even with those things that I've said about. It still feels like a completely perfect film to me, and it is absolutely incredible, and I highly suggest, if this comes out in the UK, well, I'm hoping it does get a release. And with this being saying it's macabre, if you look at posters, it is also called Dara, or Dara. Yeah, it's also called some other stuff. But yeah, these guys, the two main guys, they're also sort of quite big characters in the Raid 2. I've heard, what I've seen from the trailers. They're in the trailers, and their names come up in the trailers. So there's great films coming out of Indonesia. Gareth Evans is bringing great films from there, and the Mo brothers are bringing great films from there. And it seems like we're going to be getting a lot of good stuff from Indonesia, and I'm really excited to see what the Mo brothers do next, and I'm so excited for Timo's next film, which I think is The Night, let me just remember the name, The Night Comes For Us. It sounds like an incredible film. This film is incredible. I highly suggest you check it out. Killers is an amazing film, a really great foreign film, and just had me taking right in, and I can't see this not being on my top 10 at the end of this year. I know this year looks really great for films, but this film just stood out for me so far this year. I have seen some good films at the beginning of this year, and the past few months it has started getting good, but with this film was just really well made and well crafted, and I'm babbling on now, but seriously, check out Killers if you get the chance to see it. Thank you very much. I shall see you all again very soon. Goodbye.